Hey guys, how's it going? Clayton Motos here. Welcome back to another garage video. But that horrible monstrosity over there that still refuses to start is not the object of our torture today. The object of our torture today is this. Now that's not all of it. The rest of it's over here. So but I started digging into this thing the other day. This is a 2006 KX250F. Bought it non-running. It's kind of dirty and gross, but you know, it'll serve its purpose. But there's a couple weird things about it. So first off, 2006s had manual decompression. And this one should have loads of compression. There's like nothing. So that led me to dig in to the top end. And I think you'll like what I have to show you. So the moment I take this top end off, you just are immediately greeted by this silicone gasket that somebody put on here. If I could, get the head out, that would be great. There we go. I'm not stupid. As I was saying, I'm not stupid, just sometimes incompetent. So the interesting thing here is that is an automatic decompression system on that cam. And so what it does is at low RPM, so this is centrifugal. And so this opens up at high RPM and it pushes a little ball down inside here back up into its place to reinstate compression. But when there's no compression, that stays still. Or when it's low RPM, I mean. It just stays right there. But I don't want to push it too much, because I'll show you why in just a second. If you know anything about timing 4-strokes, you know that it can be quite a tricky procedure, especially if you have no idea what you're doing. In here, there's a couple things. So it's going to be hard for you to see, but I'll do my best. There it is. Can you see that mark? There's a mark on the flywheel. It's just a little notch. And that tells you when you're at top dead center. Now, if you still don't believe me, we can fix that. Because this oh god, that's out of focus. Right there is the spark plug hole. And if I stick my magnet, it doesn't go down because the piston's blocking it. I can see the piston, but it would take so much work for y'all to see it that I don't even think it's worth it. Just kidding, you can see it right there. See it? It's right there. There's the top of it, down in the spark plug hole. That only took 5 minutes of wasted time. So, now when we come over here back to the timing marks, we have a problem. So we'll start with the exhaust side as the problem because it's a little bit easier to diagnose. There's a dot here and here, and this one's supposed to be level with this. This one's supposed to be up top. I don't think that's timed correctly. Then we go to the intake. There's a dot here, and then there's one underneath the lip about there, and that should be, this dot should be in line here. So let's fix it. Here's the problem with that silicone gasket, is it shreds up like that and then gets all inside your motor and all over this lip here. It's just really bad stuff. Just don't use it. After wasting about 30 minutes taking apart things that I didn't need to, So, mark. I thought these guys were done. There's the exhaust. That's pretty good. Here's the intake. That's pretty good. This side's at a little bit of an angle, so let me see if I can get you all level with the angle so you can kind of see it how I see it. So I can just move my head and get at that angle, but you guys can't move your head because you're on a tripod. So yeah, that's level there, in there. Alright, so now I'm gonna put it back together and see how it works. I also gotta try and connect a few things that were disconnected when I got it, but I'll let you guys know in a couple minutes. No bubbles. So I think it's holding gas pretty well, which is very good for this top end. So you just take a little bit of WD-40, spray it on your Scotch-Brite pad, and then take your valve and work it back and forth. This way takes time, but I've had to do it before. I know it works, so just know that that is a way that you can do it. But I'm going to use my bench grinder just because it's faster for me. So I've been working on this face of the thing for quite a while now. Ouch. And it's just not getting any better. So I'm actually going to use the steel brush on my bench grinder. I don't recommend doing this, but if you just do it really lightly, it'll get that material off. There you go, guys. That's why I use a bench grinder. Gets absolutely everything off. Okay, so now we're doing reinstallation. Just take like a little dab of motor oil and put it on the shaft. I don't have a lot left. And then drive it back in, just like that. If you're doing these multiple at a time, make sure you keep them laid out in a way where you can know which one goes where, because it's really bad to mess these up. Then to put it back in, it's the same as taking it out. You just get the bottom against the valve, top against the spring, and then drive it in. Sometimes these valves can be tricky, so just do it a little bit more than you really need to. Just to, wow, the lighting's terrible. Just to make sure you can really get it in there. So now I'm just gonna take each keeper. This is gonna be really hard for y'all to see, I'm sorry. But I'm just gonna take each keeper. Let me see if I can find an angle. Take each keeper, put it inside, take a screwdriver, preferably one with a magnetic tip, but it doesn't really matter, and then just flail it around until it goes into its keeper hole, just like that, and then take the other keeper. You need to put it in the other side. And move the first keeper around so that you can get it in a really good spot to put in the second one. Okay, so I got the keeper in. That's both of them in there. And now we just slowly release pressure, making sure that the keepers keep the valve. If they do, we're in luck. That means we're done. Well, not quite. Okay. Of course, the last thing to do here is put the cap on. And that'll do it. Make sure you clean off your gasket surface so that you can adhere to that. And then you can go ahead and start the install. Hold on, guys, because that's going to have to wait until the next video, since I know that you guys have the attention span of cockroaches. So if you liked the video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, and if you're new here, make sure to subscribe, and if you have any suggestions for me in the future, put it down in the comments section. So with that being said, I will see all of you guys in the next video. But before then, I'm going to give you all a quick teaser into the next video in this Kawasaki series. Here it is.